All right, what up, y'all? Welcome back to the Investment League. Thank you for tuning in. This is where you go to get your money saving and investing tips so that you can become successful and succeed in life financially, reach those goals that you didn't think were possible, and reach goals that are beyond your imagination at this moment, and getting yourself on the right track mentally so that we can get to where we want to go financially. Um, if you're watching this on YouTube, you can follow along right here on the screen. If you're listening to this through podcast form and you're not currently driving, you can go onto my Instagram, My Investment League, and we're talking about post number 19. So this is episode number 19. So post number 19 says this: why most people won't invest in the stock market, right? So these are the top three excuses that I hear, and I'm saying excuses because that's what they are, you know. One, you need a lot of money. Two, it's intimidating. And three, it's too complicated. Those are the top three excuses that I hear when people say, I'm scared to get into the stock market, or I don't think I can because, like I said, like it says, you need a lot of money. And truthfully, the power is in compound interest, meaning even just $5 consistently being invested will eventually grow into a fortune because you're adding $5 consistently, and the market going up about 10% every year is adding that 10% interest on your investments. It's just like the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink does not become full of dishes all at once. It's an accumulation of small dishes being added over time. So you eat breakfast and then you put your plate and your fork in the sink and maybe your cup, and then you grab a snack, or you have coffee. So now you have two in there, and then maybe your kids or your spouse or whoever lives with you adds their dishes, and next thing you know, the kitchen sink is completely filled with dishes. But your thinking is, how did all these dishes get here? How did this happen? And it's the same concept in the stock market. You consistently add money, you consistently, and it doesn't have to be a lot, it can be a little bit, but the key is consistency and doing it frequently and being like on a schedule, like a bill, like we were saying. And over time, your small account is going to grow big because you're investing in the stock market and you're letting your money grow on its own. You don't even have to pay attention to it. You don't have to do anything. You just invest it in stocks that you like, stocks that you want to invest in that you believe are great or good companies, and show you that they're good companies, or ETFs, which is basically like a stock portfolio. So somebody else put it together for you and you just let your money grow. Like I said, $5 consistently will become a lot of money over time as long as you're consistent. Okay. The second, it's too intimidating, right? So people look at the numbers, they see, stocks going up and down, they see a lot of people moving a lot of money. Whenever you hear of the stock market, you think of Wall Street and thousands of dollars. So it's a little intimidating, but it's just like learning how to drive, right? Learning to drive for the first time was intimidating, especially trying to drive on the freeway for the first time. You have cars going 80 miles an hour, just like all these people that are, veterans and well seasoned in driving. So they're not thinking about the little guys, basically, which is us, learning how to drive for the first time and being able to merge and switch lanes and look at all around us, especially our blind spots. So it's the same concept. The point is, anything new is going to be a little scary at first, but once you learn the lingo and you learn the flow of the market and how things work in stocks and pullbacks and run ups and all these things and earnings, it's just like traffic. It becomes easier to merge and it's easier to keep up with the speed. And then you can go and do the things that you want to do without wondering if you're doing it right or if you're doing it wrong or if you're going to make money or lose money. It's a long term goal. This is a long term journey. So as long as you're in this for the long term and you're consistent and you're consistently, like I said, putting money in and investing, you're going to come out on top. The people who lose money in the stock market are the short-term investors who are just trying to make a quick buck. They're trying to get a get-rich-quick scheme, flip a few dollars really quickly, and that's gambling. And this is not gambling. This is investing. For long-term success, for retirement, and that's one of the key takeaways from this is that the stock market is a long-term investment. As long as you're in this for the long term and you're willing to hold your positions and add when they get cheaper, you will come out very wealthy in the end. And then this is a skill, this is something, an asset that you can pass to the next generation, to your kids or whoever you want to pass it on to, and before you even pass it on, you can reap the benefits of all this. So with that being said, the third excuse is it's too complicated, which goes along with it's too intimidating. So it's too intimidating because it's too complicated. But think of it like this. It's just like your first day at your new job, right? So you go to school, you work, you bust your ass off. In school, you learn all these complicated formulas and terminology so that you can get your degree, so that you can get the job that you want. Now you're at the job, and now you have to learn the system. You have to learn your job duties, how to operate certain equipment, navigate your way around the facility or whatever operating systems that they're using. But then once you get familiar with it all, you begin to find ways to be more efficient. So now you're doing things a lot faster. You're not really thinking about a lot because you're on autopilot now because you've been doing it for a while. You're no longer asking questions. You're learning how to do the research on your own. It's the exact same thing in the stock market, except there's three major differences between the stock market and your job. One, there's no boss, so you're your own boss. You control everything. How much money you want to make, how much time you want to spend. You don't have to be in one location to do this. You can do this anywhere. It's a remote job, right? So there's no boss, there's nobody to report to. It's just you. There's no 8-hour shifts, so you don't have to dedicate 8 straight hours to this. I'm usually in the stock market maybe like 1 to 2 hours every single day, and after that I'm doing other things, you know what I'm saying? And my money is still growing, and it's still making money while I do other things like spend time with family, go to the gym and work out, go to sleep, you know what I mean? Um, so there's no 8-hour shift and there's no limits. So by no limits is what I mean is like there's no limit on how much money you can make, right? You can make as much money as you want as long as you're consistently putting money in, you're investing in good companies, and that's basically all you have to do. And your money will grow. You know what I mean? It's that simple. And the more money obviously you put in, the more money you can make, but there's no limit. So you're not stuck at $15 an hour and that's all you're going to get. And then next year for your annual raise, you might get, 35 cents or a 50-cent raise. You already know what your cap is at your regular job before you begin, and every single paycheck, you know what you're getting every single paycheck. This is it. There's no more than this. I need to work overtime in order to be able to do this, which now you're going over your 8-hour shift for that. So those three differences right there is why investing in the stock market is something that I believe is essential to becoming wealthy. Nobody ever becomes wealthy without investing their money, and trading your time for money working at a job is not going to give you long-term success. Make sure you're investing in the stock market. If you want to get an idea of what you can do in the stock market because you're a little confused and like you want to not make it as complicated, go to my YouTube channel. If you're not watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the Investment League. I am taking a small account portfolio and I'm using it to, one, pay off my debt. So I'm using it to pay off my debt, and I'm also using it to grow, to show you how you can grow a small account, different strategies that you can use in the stock market to make money, what you can do with that money, how it all works. If you guys have any questions on any of that, please leave a comment in the comment section down below on YouTube or in my Instagram account. Make sure you guys are subscribed so you can stay up to date on every update on that account. I explain exactly what I'm doing and why I'm doing it and how it works. So if you have any more questions, don't be afraid to ask because there's probably somebody else out there that has the same question. And that's basically it. So key takeaway from this, invest in the stock market. Doesn't matter how much money you have. Invest a little bit. It goes a long way, just like your kitchen sink. And I'll see y'all on the next one. Peace.